inside my twisted world where heroes will collide. Villains aren't the only evil, there are no fucking sides. Every match will test their stats, every loss and win are weighed. Any chance they thought they had could all end up in vain on Combo Breaker.
When it comes to fighting, there are two important things you need to do to win. 1, land shots, and 2, don't get hit. Bam, you got yourself a winning strategy right there. And nobody excels at not getting hit than today's two fighters. Peter Parker, the spectacular Spider-Man, and Garnet, the ultimate fusion from Steven Universe. Oh yeah, Spider-Man's on a winning streak. I mean, he helped Marvel destroy DC, he took down Blue Beetle, and now he just beat the legendary Frank West. Man, no one can stop him. Well, anyway, let's hop into what Spider-Man can do. He has super senses that can pick up on radio frequencies. He has his iconic spider sense that allows him to react to almost anything. However, if he doesn't see it as a threat and doesn't choose to react, then he can still get hit by it. Spider-Man can climb any surface and even has a small healing factor to help him recover from wounds over time. He's also equipped with his trusty web shooters. They can shoot not only normal webs to web up opponents, but an array of special ones. Like taser webs to shock foes, acid webs to burn them, foam webs to give them cream in their coffee, cement webs to do things. I actually don't understand those ones. Ice webs to freeze them, impact webs to do more damage, magnetic webs to magnetize things, sonic webs, flame webs to burn things. How the hell do you have a flame web? That one doesn't even make sense. Wouldn't it just burn the web? Ugh. He has antitoxin webs, webware, and even spider tracers. These are all very incredibly powerful webs, but his most useful uses for these webs are, well, the ability to create shields, tie people up, and force people to fly against walls with web traps. Not to mention, he can do so much more with these webs. I mean, these things are incredibly useful. I kind of wish I had some, because then I could be like, I'm on the couch, the Fritos are over there, just thwip. Ooh, now I want Fritos. But anyway, arsenal aside, let's talk about feats. Peter is strong enough to move the Hulk with physical force, stagger the Hulk with a punch, and even move him at speeds of over Mach 400 with physical attacks. He's also held up buildings, and he's one-shot T-Rex and punched Scorpion's jaw off, and he's actually taken down Green Goblin before. Spider-Man regularly dodges lightning, machine gun fire, and handgun fire, and at one point he hit Quicksilver, who moves while he was moving at full speed. He's also caught Thor's fucking hammer that moves at thousands of times the speed of light, and he survived vicious blows from the likes of Venom and Carnage, and other characters like Mr. Fantastic, Daredevil, and even Green Goblin. Now, Peter Parker is also a genius. He's a master of martial arts, and he's even the one who's invented most of his own equipment. Plus, Reed Richards and Tony Stark, aka Mr. Fantastic and Iron Man, have called upon him for help on more than one occasion with projects, and he's skilled enough to fight alongside the Avengers. But don't take his genius and skill for perfection. He's a high schooler and doesn't tend to take fights seriously unless he knows he's in real danger. Holy shit, Garnet's back! And fighting another one of my favorite characters of all things. Well, maybe she won't cave in his head like she did with Yang and Akuma. And oh god, Garnet just kind of fucked up all my favorite characters, didn't she? Well, anyway, Garnet is a fusion between Ruby and Sapphire, two gems who fell in love after Ruby saved Sapphire by fusing with her. Also, despite gems being genderless, all gems are referred to and look female, so get ready because this review might get a little bit confusing with all the pronouns. So now let's talk about her powers, and starting with her natural gem powers. So before we talk about Garnet's powers, we need to talk about Sapphire and Ruby's powers. So Sapphire herself has what's called future vision. This allows her to see all possible futures and their likeliness of happening, and she seems to also have some sort of ice manipulation. As for Ruby, she's more combat oriented, meaning she actually wields a weapon, being her gauntlet really. However, she also has some sort of superheating ability, as we've seen her completely evaporate a pool just by walking back and forth while angry. I don't see how useful this is, but it's something to note. But when they fuse, they actually lose the ice and heat powers, but they keep the future vision, and she replaces the one gauntlet with two higher power gauntlets. She can also launch these gauntlets like rockets, and she can manipulate electricity, even has stretchy limbs. Why the hell are those last two powers not used very often? Like, what the hell's up with that? Now onto the last few of Garnet's powers. She can put her opponents and allies into bubbles that cannot be broken. However, it is hard for her to lock onto targets who are still fighting or moving. Plus, she can also shapeshift. And being a gem, she also has the power to resurrect. If Garnet's physical body is destroyed or poofed, both Ruby and Sapphire's gems will fall to the ground. As long as the gems are not shattered while they're regenerating, they can come back from the dead. However, they do not come back as Garnet, they come back as Ruby and Sapphire and will have to refuse. So now on to feats. Garnet's strong enough to fight Jasper, who survived a ship crash and then exploding, and early on in the show, along with the help of Amethyst and Pearl, they defeated a living island that was described as a tectonic threat. She also fought a clone of herself, and she's obviously leagues above Ruby, who could launch a baseball into space. And if we can trust Pearl and Garnet's fusion strength tester, she is stronger than Stevani, who could fight and beat Jasper after destroying her giant creature. She didn't poof Jasper, but she forced her to surrender. As for speed, she should directly scale to Pearl, who could pilot a starship and dodge meteors while piloting it. She also can fight on par with Jasper, and she's punched lightning out of the way as well. When it comes to durability, Garnet's a tough mofo, able to fight with Jasper evenly for an extended period of time, and she's taken beatings from her evil clone. Now, Garnet's incredibly smart, as she has the combat skills of Ruby and the analytical thinking and future vision of Sapphire, as well as years of experience, like thousands of years of experience in combat. But Garnet isn't perfect. Enough physical damage can cause her to unfuse or even completely poof her, leaving Sapphire and Ruby in a weakened state, and they'll have to refuse before they can turn into Garnet again. Plus, her future vision isn't perfect either. We've seen her take hits before from Jasper, and if she doesn't see the person for who they actually are, then she'll have a harder time predicting what the most likely future is going to be, as seen with Steven when she still saw him as a child. Alright, our combatants are set. Which master of dodging will come out on top in a fight to the death? And is swinging through the city looking for a villain as he sees Garnet destroying chunks of the city, trying to hit a green gem monster. Spider-Man then jumps at Garnet and goes to kick her in the back of the head, but she moves to the side and looks at Spider-Man. She smiles and laughs as she walks towards the creature, but Spider-Man launches out a web ball at Garnet, who backflips over and looks at him. Garnet then rushes forward at Spider-Man as she lunges forward and punches at Spider-Man's face, but he ducks and uppercuts Garnet and follows up with a spin kick, causing her to stumble to the side. Spider-Man yells out, "Get a load of this!" as he rushes at Garnet and goes for a powerful uppercut, but Garnet dodges and gut punches him. Spider-Man falls to the ground as Garnet puts out her arm and launches it at him. Spider-Man stands up and launches out his webs at Garnet's gauntlet and spins it around, throwing it right back at her, hitting her square in the face, cracking her visor. Spider-Man laughs a bit as Garnet punches the ground, causing a dust cloud to form around her. Spider-Man coughs up a little bit of dust as the dust clears and Garnet's seemingly missing. Spider-Man then scratches his head in confusion as a small creature crawls under him. The creature then transforms back into Garnet and jumps up and slams her fists down at Spider-Man, who rolls forward. Garnet then runs over and jumps at Spider-Man, who launches out his webs at Garnet, latching onto Garnet, shocking her as he spins him around and throws her into a building. Spider-Man then jumps at Garnet and launches out his webs again, but she catches them and slams him into the ground. Garnet then leaps into the air and crashes down towards Spider-Man, splitting his body in half with a powerful punch. Oh shit, she squashed him like a bug! Well, our winner is Garnet, and this fight actually wasn't as unfair as you might think. When it came to strength and durability, both had very impressive feats, like Garnet, who could trade blows and beat Jasper, who survived that ship explosion, and she even staggered Blue Diamond, so she should be around country level. Spider-Man, on the other hand, has one-shot at T-Rex, punched the Hulk with enough force to move him at Mach 400, plus he punched Scorpion's jaw off, so he should be about town level in strength and durability. So Garnet took strength and durability by quite a bit, but speed-wise, Spider-Man outshined Garnet. You see, Garnet's able to punch lightning bolts out of the sky and should scale to Pearl, who could pilot a relativistic speed ship. But Spider-Man can casually dodge gunfire and lightning, and more impressively, he tagged Quicksilver, who moves at the speed of light, and caught Thor's hammer that moves at 60,000 times the speed of light. So Spider-Man had a huge speed edge, but Garnet's strength and durability edge was far above anything Spider-Man's ever shown anything close to. For him to be able to kill her, it would take a ridiculous amount of time to be able to do enough damage to actually, hurt her. It's town level versus country level. It's gonna take a lot of those punches to hurt her, whereas she could simply punch Spider-Man like twice and end it. But now it's time to discuss the connection of this fight. Spider-Man's Spider Sense versus Garnet's Future Vision. So the Future Vision allows Garnet to see all possible futures and the likeliness of happening. And while it's not perfect, she's not gonna have 2 hours at a time predicting Spider-Man's movements, as they are very acrobatic, but they're nothing too new for Garnet. Spider-Man's Spidey Sense, on the other hand, alerts Spider-Man of danger that's coming anywhere near him, but Spider-Man himself has to choose to react. So the Spider Sense is far more reliable, but it won't give him enough of an edge to actually win. It's only going to prolong the inevitable. Looks like Garnet squashed Spider-Man like a bug, causing him to suffer a major loss. Our winner is Garnet. Next time on Combo Breaker. Simon Belmont versus Kratos.
First of all, let me thank you all for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and share this to any friends you know who like versus debates. And, tell me what you think of the next match. Give me your predictions, maybe suggest matches in the comments, and they might happen.